This is me priming my model. And this is me stripping it. Little did I know, I would have to repeat this process 4 more times before I figured out the problems I was having with my primer. And today I'm going to be sharing with you everything I learned so you don't make the same mistakes. So this video is supposed to be about painting Captain America, but as you'll see, the primer is getting very messed up, causing it to crack. This was my first primer of the model, and the black went on pretty smoothly. But when I put on the white for the zenithal highlight, the black paint underneath started cracking. At first I thought it was a mold release agent or something like that on the actual plastic of the model, but I would soon find out that I was very, very wrong. As you can see, in addition to not being a strong bond to the plastic, the primer also looks awful and might even be noticeable from a couple feet away. I did some research on removing paint from minis, and I found that denatured alcohol could work to strip them. So I took the model outside, put on my gloves, and scrubbed away the paint with an old toothbrush. After that, I washed it off with some warm soapy water to get rid of the alcohol. Then, thinking I was safe, I decided to prime it again. And again, it cracked. Actually, even worse this time. So, I repeated the entire process all over again. By this time, I really did not know what was going on. I tried letting the black primer sit for a couple of hours before putting on the white, but I just got the same result. Alright, so a little update here. Basically, I've put on 3 coats of primer now. Every single time. What's happened is the black has gone on. I'm just using some Stynylrez black airbrush primer. I've put it on. The plastic is clean. It's been stripped 3 times. Definitely no factory or like mold remover oils on this plastic. So the plastic is not the problem, I've determined. So I've put this primer on there, and every single time I've put on the white, I've waited for it to dry. I've waited, like putting it on right after when it's just dry to touch. I've waited for it to completely dry. It's definitely not that either. It's just whenever I put on this white paint, I've used matte white and this Stynylrez white twice for the zenithal, it just cracks. And even brushing it on a bit too, I put on some on just the bare black, and even brushing it on, it still just cracks. So I am absolutely stumped right now. I have no idea. And I even did some tests on some sprues. So here is just some brushed on primer which cracked a bit. But I think that may have been from the factory, whatever factory materials are on this plastic. And then here was just some plain black which did not crack at all, which I had the same result with this. Here I got a little bit muddled because I had some overspray, but here was just straight white, I believe. And then down here was, and I believe that was straight white. This was white over black, and that had a little bit of cracking. So overall, this results are just inconclusive. I have no idea. And did a little bit of black on this Games Workshop sprue as well. Games Workshop's fine though. They have fine plastic and my primers work on them. So I'm just not sure. Did I get a bad batch of Styler's black? Possibly. So I guess I'm just going to do a bit more tests. I'm thinking about priming with some of this Rust-Oleum, just, spray primer to test if the primer is actually a problem or some other weird reactions going on. But I think I'm going to do some tests with this, and when it comes down to it, the black primer just might be the problem. I could have gotten a bad bottle. So that is definitely a possibility, but I doubt it because the Stein Res stuff is pretty high quality. So I guess I'm just going to have to do a bit more tests, and man, I'll just have to find out. Alright, so I just primed the shield after stripping that model for, let's see, I think that's the 4th time now that I've stripped that model. Either the 3rd or 4th. I've honestly lost track because, gosh, I'm tired of doing it. Anyway, so I decided not to go like full on and do the whole model. Instead, I've just decided just to prime his shield. And as you can see, this is a great prime right here. It's like, nice and smooth. I got everything that I need to get, and it looks great, honestly. But the real problem is the next step, putting on the zenithal highlight. And some of you may be asking, why not just skip the zenithal highlight and save yourself some time? But it's pretty much too late now to make this into the painting Captain America video anyway. So I decided to determine what's wrong so I don't have any problems in the future. So I actually talked to a friend, and he said that sometimes he has problems with his primer, with the Stynylrez kind. Even though it says paintable in 8 minutes, sometimes you're going to want to let it set for about like 24 to even 48 hours for it to be like full strength. So I think that might be part of the problem. So I'm going to see what happens just on the shield after 24 hours, and fingers crossed, I really hope that works. And then I can proceed and do that on the Captain America. So that's where we're at right now, and gosh, I hope this works. I don't want to strip this again. Well, it worked on the shield. I then decided to go ahead and do the exact same process for the actual figure. Then, after waiting for over 24 hours, I came back in with some more of the white. Alright, so it finally worked. Oh my gosh, that feels good after a long time of just troubleshooting and testing and, oh my gosh, doing everything I could to try to figure out what this is. But the advice that I got was right. That this is why you should leave your primers for 24 hours, especially Stylorez, because they need time to cure. But look at that prime, that's great. And I'm glad I figured this out now rather than later. I'm not too pushed for time, so yeah, I'm just glad this is over and so I can get on to actually painting this great model. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly didn't enjoy making it, but hopefully it was educational to you, and hopefully you can avoid these mistakes in the future. So if you did like it, please subscribe, like, share, you know, all that good stuff. And that's about it for me. In the next couple weeks, I'll probably be able to post the actual painting of this model, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for that. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, do yourself a favor and paint every day.